new range, I'm about to host. If I may, I'm thinking that you chose the best thing. If you like them good shows and all of these movies. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat.
What up, Chip and Chaps? This is Chip and Chap Chat, episode 75.
75, we're here.
And this episode, while late, is kind of just going to be bits of some impromptu conversation.
Yep.
While we were both working on some things. But it was recording anyway, so we figured why not share it. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, hey, we're already talking. Let's read out these topics.
Pretty much. They're not in
so
order either.
You kind of get both. Mm-hmm. You get a whole conversation about the Marvel Universe and where that's going. And you get a whole separate thing with our topics for this week. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to do a bonus tomorrow, right? Yep. So here's that.
Yep. But like the dots on Tom Holland's face.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I don't know what they would be doing mocap unless there's something weird happens, like maybe the symbiote thing crawls over his face or
black suit, man.
Something like that. Which it would be cool, and it's expected. Yeah. Because it's the only time. Okay, are we recording right now?
Let me see. Yes, it is recording. We're 30 minutes in.
Okay, so remember when we were talking about Spider-Man before they showed him in Civil War? We were like, okay, so obviously, before we knew anything, we were like, obviously Tony Stark has to make the suit. Not the Iron Spider suit, but Spider-Man's actual suit. Yeah, the main because suit. It's the only time that they've been able to come up with a way where it perfectly makes sense. In all the versions of the Spider-Man movies they've done, this is the only version where him having that suit makes sense.
The black suit?
No, his regular Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, first movie, he's like, I can do sweatpants and a fucking baklava or whatever with spider shit drawn on it. And then I go to college and my shit is like a proper superhero outfit out of nowhere with, chrome webbing.
Yeah, this was, the best. This is what they showed us was essentially the best possible way they can go from the homemade to the pro suit.
Yeah. It was the only time and first time it's made sense. They tried, they said they were going to do that with Andrew Garfield. They were like, his first suit, that basketball, material suit.
Right.
They were like, we're going for, a homemade, he could make it himself. So they did things like, they made the lenses, sunglasses lenses.
Yeah. But even then, it still looks super made awesome.
Right. It's not something that you're just coming up with out of nowhere making by yourself.
Because I know people who would actually, dispute that, saying cosplayers make some dope suits, and I'm like, but it's not made from the fabric that it's supposed to be made with.
Right. And and Peter's not, if they had established already that he was a nerd and he was into cosplay or something like that,
believable.
Then you go, okay, now they've given a reason why this makes sense, but they didn't do that.
No.
He skateboarded and he was smart.
Yes. Yeah. He was also a seamstress,
Right. So, in this new one, they finally figured out a way to give us that outfit, and it makes sense.
Yep.
So, if they're taking Spider-Man to space, it's the first time they can give us the symbiote storyline, and it fucking makes sense.
Complete sense.
So, all they have to do in the next one, because Spider-Man 2 or Homecoming 2, whatever the fuck they call it, is not coming out until after Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
They give us the black suit in this movie. They don't have to deal with Venom or any of the bad shit from the suit until his next movie.
Exactly, because you already, because they're going to watch that.
Right.
But
now we don't have to deal with what happened in the Tobey. A meteor falls in the middle of the park. He happens to be in. He
already has a suit.
Right.
Or if not even the suit, he already has a symbiote on him. The symbiote would be part of him.
Yeah, so it makes a lot more sense. It's the only them meshing up with the Marvel Universe fully is the first time that they've been able to make any of the weird shit from Spider-Man's movies make sense. So I'm excited that.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're doing did you see the toiler of Iron Man in Homecoming?
Yeah, it's that gray, red and yellow one, which is sick. What's that one? What's that suit called?
It's his ultimate.
It's the ultimate one, but it's like molded with it's the ultimate colors.
It's the
Yeah.
ultimate color scheme over the like current MCU
which
version of what
honestly
the suit looks like.
Fantastic.
It does, and it solidifies that that's what they're doing with this version of Spider-Man. They're making Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's why when Iron Man appears in Spider-Man, it's like Ultimate Iron Man did.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I love all that kind of shit that they're doing, and I wonder if that's where they're going in the future too. Because if Thor's got the axe now, that's still the Ultimate's version of what Thor had.
Exactly.
So I wonder if that's purposely lining up that way.
Good, man. Marvel's doing something good.
It's just very interesting to me, and I appreciate that little bits of shit that they don't have to outright say.
No, they don't need to.
But why does that? Okay, here's my question to you, man.
Right.
As a fan, as a viewer,
yes,
why does that shit work, but the big weird fucking alien dude at the end of BVS doesn't work?
Because it came out of nowhere.
Why does that kind of world building not work?
Because world building would make sense if you're building it. You can't.
You don't think that's a building?
It is, but you're just throwing okay. In BVS, we understand that Superman is an alien.
Okay.
Right? They haven't established any other alien.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's true.
At all. I mean, in the Marvel Universe, we have the Thor aliens, the Asgardians, which are humanoid aliens. But then once we were introduced to Guardians, we were introduced into a wide array of various beings that exist.
Right.
That are far beyond that we would even understand. Right?
And even before that, they showed Thor was our introduction to gods, but their version of gods it's an alien.
Yes, exactly. They weren't gods in gods,
And by the time they got to the first Avengers movie, we got Thanos, we got the fucking Chitauri things. We got a whole bunch of aliens at once.
Yep.
So they were like, not only is there these things and we're calling them aliens, but there really is legitimately fucking aliens.
Yeah. It's easy.
Is that not crazy? Is that not fucking bananas that they convinced us that that's totally fine, but that one fucking weird alien at the end of BVS, we're like, what the fuck was that?
It came out of nowhere. And also, all right, in BVS, it was a byproduct of Kryptonian DNA.
Okay.
Right?
I still don't understand how the fuck that worked.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got that giant hunk of whatever, that mess, out of Zod.
Right.
Where there was... Okay, they might have explained it, I'm sure. But it's a hard pill to swallow when he just bursts out of that cocoon.
Right. It's bizarre. Yeah. So was that thing supposed to be like the baby of Lex and Zod?
Well, I don't even think it was the baby of Zod, because wasn't that Zod?
I thought originally that it was like Zod's body
recreated, essentially
mutated or whatever.
Exactly. It was Zod's body mutated using Lex's DNA and Kryptonian tech.
Yeah, but I still don't get are they implying if Superman tried to get Lois pregnant, one of these big mongoloid things would come out of it?
We don't know. Maybe, but I'm not sure if that's
have Kryptonians done this experiment and they already knew that you had to have human DNA to make one of these fucking things?
Maybe it's an abomination.
Right.
Using Marvel.
They did call it that.
Did they? Oh, that's a fail already because it looked like abomination.
Right.
It's an abomination because it was wasn't that supposedly a dark technology from Krypton?
I don't know if it was tech. I don't know what the fuck happened. They were just like,
there we go. You're
this is forbidden.
Yeah, it's forbidden. So obviously, it's forbidden. Obviously means no good.
Right. But he's like, but the people who decided it was forbidden are all dead. So go ahead and do it. And the computer's like, all right, sure.
But all right,
it was easy as fuck.
It's made from. There's too many things that they don't explain. It's hard. It was a hard pill to swallow because it does. I don't know. People will be like, "Oh, but it's easy for you to accept the Guardians and stuff like that." It's like, well, they're aliens,
right? And I'm just talking about the shit that's similar. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so they gave us parademons as well in BVS.
Yes, they did. Those were not like they didn't even fucking say parademons, bro.
They don't. They don't.
Like,
but they don't. They don't really explain what the fucking Chitauri are. They're just like they're a bad guy army.
Right, but what the thing that I get from the Chitauri is it's an alien force invading. We've seen alien movies. Everyone understands alien invasion movies.
Okay.
Right? The parademons, which were supposedly in a dream of the future, which was still not explained whether or not it's a dream of the future.
Oh, right. Okay, so why? Okay, with the dream.
Yeah, okay, if it's a dream.
Yeah, if it's a dream.
If it's a dream,
which is even more weird.
Right.
Why is that one harder to accept?
Right.
Than Tony's vision in Age of Ultron, where he sees the alien invasion and the like giant slug creatures and everybody's dead and
again. All right, with Tony's case, what was the moment that led to the seeing the vision?
Scarlet Witch.
Okay, Scarlet Witch.
Right, and can she still do that? Why doesn't she just fucking do that to all the bad guys?
What was the thing that led to Batman seeing that vision?
Who fucking knows?
Exactly, dude.
Well, to me, okay, so I rewatched the extended cut of BVS again recently,
which is worth it. I feel it's worth watching it.
Right, my friend was in from out of town and he hadn't seen it at all, so we watched it.
Did he like it?
He very much acted like I did when it was over, and he just said, "I just don't know how to feel about what I saw." It wasn't like it was the worst movie ever, but it definitely wasn't the best movie ever, and I don't know why either side would be argued.
Right.
Because there's things that I think are failures, and they're clear failures.
Yeah.
But there are things that were cool about it as well. Like, undisputably, watching Batman fight in that movie is wicked.
Yeah, dude. Again, even watching Superman fight, watching all of them fight is really cool.
It is, but like, if that's
really cool moments.
That's the only thing you got,
it's garbage.
It's not great to me.
No,
like Wonder Woman scenes were cool.
Her music is dope too.
I liked a lot of the stuff with Batman.
Yep.
But that was kind of it. I feel like Superman, the dude playing him, Henry Cavill, perfectly fine.
Great.
They just write the character real weird.
They don't know how to write Superman.
Yeah, he's just too sad.
He's too really sad.
And I get why they would argue that, because that's them deconstructing it, like, oh, he's an alien, he's so lonely, yada yada.
Don't deconstruct him. He's Superman.
Well, supposedly they're reversing that now in the new one.
All right.
Supposedly.
I don't care, man.
Do you think it's beyond fixing Superman specifically?
No. I don't think it's beyond fixing, but I'm like, this shouldn't be reactionary.
But I mean, what did they do? Just keep on trucking? But Superman's a murderer or a bad guy, kind of.
Not at all. I mean, like, if it was part of the story for him to discover how to be not fucking gloomy and dark and whatnot, whatever it takes, then just go with it. You know, but don't just instantly make the change. That's what I'm saying. If he all of a sudden pops out again, I'm back, guys, all smiles and shit.
Right, because that shit doesn't work out. Look at Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what happened?
Look how different that movie looked and everything compared to what the first one was. Just because they were like, okay, well, people are loving these Marvel movies, and the dark shit's kind of over now that Nolan shit's over.
Mm-hmm.
Let's recorrect and try to make fun bright, like this is suddenly like Raimi movie 4.
But see, that was also a bad move, man. I think
it just didn't work out.
They went too far. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They tried to make the switch.
But there was dark shit. Like the Goblin stuff was real fucking dark.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, like, it felt like the tonal shift was too quickly made.
Right. And there was no explanation for any of it.
Right. And everyone's like, oh, the Marvel movies are all lighthearted and blah blah. It's like, no, they get pretty dark too. But the initial tone, like the basis, isn't always the dark, grey, gloomy stuff. It's like life. Life, is ups and downs. They'll show you that. Sure, they like to play up the light part because you're supposed to have fun too,
Right. See,
it's gotta be fun.
I just really hope. I really hope, because Spider-Man's so good.
Yes.
But Marvel.
Yes.
Kind of famously undercuts their villains in order to spend more time making you love the hero.
With Spider-Man, I feel that with the new one anyways.
Right.
Viewers got the glimpse, the taste of him in Civil War, and it feels pretty unanimous that he's loved.
Right.
Right? So, coming into this new film, this Homecoming, that should still be, that should still hold fairly true. And with the actor that you've gotten for the villain, I don't know if he's going to be just placed in the back burner again. Like what most people
But you could say that about the actors that have played any of the villains.
That is true. But the thing is, like, in general, I know people like, oh, the Marvel villains are underplayed.
Right.
I can agree to an extent, but not to all of them. Like Malekith was definitely underplayed in Thor 2.
Right.
He was like the primary one that wasn't really used at all.
And I think it's also hard to just be like, well, I guess I'm fully on board with a Thunder God versus a Dark Elf.
That's exactly.
But I also watch all the other Marvel Universe movies that have nothing to do with any of this fantasy shit.
It's very difficult. Like they definitely tried, especially that film in particular. They tried to do a lot.
Right. And they were doing a whole like face turn, heel turn thing with Loki.
That's why, there was too many things go on the plate, and that's why Malekith was full on placed in the back burner, unfortunately. Whereas, say, let's say, what was that? First Avenger into Winter Soldier. That's still very grounded within the world that they established already in the first Avenger.
Right.
So you didn't really have to go too far in terms of getting familiarized with the villain in that film.
It's true. Although I fucking loved Red Skull. I thought he was great.
I do too. I hope he returns somehow.
And it makes me so sad because everybody knows how much he didn't enjoy the process.
Right. How about if, say, he comes back, but it was like, you don't have to wear makeup anymore. Just have to have dots on your face.
Maybe. I just don't know. Because
honestly, I'm actually surprised they don't just do that now, because they could actually make it look like it's not like... Because, my issue with the Red Skull face is that it looks like his face is larger than an actual face is. It doesn't look like that he's kind of caved in like a skull.
Right.
Because that's how I kind of always imagined Red Skull to be. And I feel that they can achieve that using CG.
I feel like they did it sort of in those movies. They did,
like, to his cheeks and stuff, but they did use prosthetics, which I didn't feel was necessary.
They used prosthetics and they like enhanced it with CG.
Right. Just go CG with him. It's just a face.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if they could do it.
If you wore a skull cap,
right,
and just the face part, the dots, I reckon it could be done, man.
Right.
And honestly, I know I'm going to bring up another film which obviously isn't related to the Marvel films, but like, you've seen Rogue One. You saw how they used CG in that, and how people were very indifferent. They go, it's very Uncanny Valley and stuff like that, because they recreated a whole face that's supposed to be based on a real human. Of course, it's going to be difficult, but with the Red Skull, it's not a real face.
It's true.
So I feel it could be more doable. Look at Davy Jones in Pirates. It's not a real face, but his face still looks amazing till this day. Do
they have we seen examples of other like skull-faced characters that have worked well?
Well, I can't even say it worked well. Like, no. I mean, the only other skull face that pops into mind is the Frank Langella in Masters of the Universe, but that was all prosthetic.
That was forever ago as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, now that we have this technology, have we seen any other characters that have skulls for faces?
No one really has skull faces.
Well,
I think honestly, I think they can do it. If that was his primary reason why he disliked that role was the whole sitting in the makeup chair, then just do that, man.
make it so he comes back.
Yes, because
And
he's
make it so that he comes back, and whatever power he has found on the other side through Thanos or whatever,
yeah.
has returned his fucking face to normal. But now he wears like a helmet of the Red Skull.
Oh, because he likes working under masks.
Right.
He's great at it. He's like one of the best guys to do it.
I think that would work.
Because he's still technically the Red Skull if it was just like a dope fucking skull helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, let's design that. But I don't know, man. Like, bring him back. I know people, how Marvel obviously is got like the bad track record for like villains, apart from obviously Loki, who's kind of like a villain, not even like just a bad hero, I suppose. Not even a good guy. He's kind of just indifferent. But I feel with Thanos,
he definitely wanted to conquer Earth.
Right. So that makes you bad, I guess. I mean, you killed your brother essentially.
He's a sympathetic bad guy.
Yeah, there we go. Thanos, I think he's gonna be the exception to the Marvel.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're like, we're gonna show you why he's the baddest.
I think they can do it.
Which to me means if they don't fucking kill somebody in this shit, like if they couldn't out of 10 years decide somebody had to die.
Do you know what's crazy though? How about if they're like, you're actually losing a lot?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That'll make that movie epic as fuck.
Yeah, because the weight of... I know people like, you don't have to kill somebody to add the weight. I'm like, but because we've invested so many movies and years into these characters that we followed and that we actually really enjoy watching, could you imagine losing them in a way where I'm like, oh shit.
Wait.
It's Maine. What's up?
I think we might have talked about this once before.
What?
But what if they give us both? What if we watch the whole movie... People are getting killed off by Thanos because he's so dope and yada yada.
Yeah.
But by the end of the movie, they do something like give Cap the gauntlet, and he reverses everything because they've already established that the Eye of Agamotto can do that.
Yeah.
So if their long game is they have to beat Thanos,
eat it too.
Yeah, they can. We can see them all die and suffer from how dope Thanos is, but then they just take it back at the end. Will people be okay with that because they've built that is a possibility, or will we just be like, you motherfuckers, we're done, or some shit like that?
People won't be done. People will be annoyed. You know that for a fact. People will they're gonna bitch. They're gonna bitch. But at this point, do you feel that it would be majority rules? Because I'm sure a majority would be like, oh, I'm glad they're not dead. Or is it like, okay, say that happens. Say a bunch of them die, but not all of them can be resurrected. Do you think that's a cop-out? I think that's isn't that more of a cop-out? Why can't you bring them back?
Only if I don't know, because if it's the thing where they have like some sort of restriction on what the glove can do.
Yeah. They have
like
to make that
it can only take us back a month or something like that.
Right.
Which would be weird.
Right.
But then to explain like some people died before we could get the glove back.
Maybe that's the case. I
don't know. I think people would be annoyed by
check it, dude.
No, because right now we have no concept of what that gauntlet can do.
Not at all. We have a concept of what each of those individual stones can do. But together, not at all.
Right.
It
seems too powerful for them to be able to do fucking anything.
Yep. It's the glove for whatever I want to do.
It's got all of the MacGuffins in it.
That's the problem. It's the super MacGuffin.
So what do you do with that?
With a super MacGuffin?
With the super MacGuffin and not okay, if Thanos has this thing and he loses, is he still the baddest dude, or is he like mega bitch because he had the ultimate fucking weapon and lost?
See, there's that. I'm sure people don't even think of it that way. How about if he loses because he's double crossed by somebody?
I just don't know, man. I don't know who that would be. They've not established Thanos to have any fucking friends.
Hela? If Hela's supposed to be death...
I assume.
Right. What most people are assuming also. But if that's the case... Who knows, man? Who knows? It's gonna be like there's so much writing on this, and I think that's like obviously the just the lead up to it is phenomenal. The fact that they pulled this off, the fact that they've built this universe that people follow, that people give a crap about the characters, and it's all leading up to this moment. But because of that, there is so much pressure.
Right,
so much
and we
pressure.
get that shit like May next year.
Right. And the fact that they're filming these two films back to back, meaning even though they don't have a title, they know what they're doing. They've got a plan already. Like,
we just don't know what the fuck it is, but they've got a goal.
Yeah, and the fact that they have a goal, meaning they probably know what's going to happen, meaning they're confident enough to be like, yeah, this will be fine. This will actually be good. People will follow still.
And I also I feel like it's not that they don't have a title. It's just they don't want us to know what the fuck the title is.
Absolutely not.
Because it gives away where it goes next.
Yep, precisely. How about if it's Secret Wars?
I mean, that makes sense to me. Especially if they're doing the whole thing with the Collector and I guess like the Collector's brother or something supposed to be in Thor because Jeff Goldblum's supposed to be in that shit. That movie's gonna be so weird.
That film's gonna be fucking amazing.
I can't wait, dude.
I'm so excited. This year too. Fucking nuts. Do you think that's gonna be difficult for some people to grasp? Like
Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, where it's like, all right, so you're fighting a battle that no one's aware of.
I just think if it continues to be a thing where these battles don't have consequences,
then it will be an issue.
People will eventually go, okay, so nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. Things happen, but nothing happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that will wear thin.
Oh, absolutely.
And, who knows if they've thought that far ahead, if they're like, okay, well, when this wears thin, what do we do next? They just go, no, people will love this forever. I don't know.
I don't know if do you think they're that naive as creators? To believe that they're invincible almost? Like, we can do what we want.
Yeah, I don't know. When you get to that point, when you get to this level of success that they're at, what the fuck you think like anymore?
I'm sure they second guess themselves more now.
You think so?
I'm sure there are people that are involved in the teams that still definitely second guess, and they're needed for the team because they're like, all right, you're overlooking something.
Right.
You kind of always need. It's almost better to have one of those because it's like you can't be too sure of that because having an outside point of view will give you a better view of how you could approach something.
And they do a lot of testing with their movies.
Dude, did you read about the thing? How Guardians 2 got like super fucking great test screenings?
I heard about it. I didn't read anything.
I didn't read like the full article because I was afraid it might spoil anything. But they had like the primary gist of it was like, Guardians 2 got a test screening, its first few test screenings, and people bloody loved it.
I just don't know what they could do that would make them not fucking love it.
Right, that's exactly
Guardians has, because people didn't know what the fuck it was before the movie.
Yep.
They can do whatever they want, man, and it's still gonna be, as long as there's great music, the characters are still fun. People aren't gonna give a shit because there's no expectation. It's not like doing a new Spider-Man movie where everybody knows that story.
Right. What's also crazy is that Guardians could have essentially, if Guardians was the only thing that Marvel did, they could have basically did a whole Star Wars type thing with that.
They still can do a Star Wars thing,
but
with
like
that.
That's nuts to me. Like, a film within a greater series of films could essentially launch a whole new Star Wars.
I think it already has, man. I think it already has. How is Rocket and Groot not already the modern Han and Chewie?
Fact. That's crazy how fact that is as well. Like, think about it, man. Before Guardians was out, No one knew who the heck Rocket and Groot were. Now anybody would recognize them.
Right.
That's bonkers, dude.
You know, how is fucking Star-Lord not Luke Skywalker? They have
That's true.
the same, like, you come from simple nothing, and you know your dad was some sort of fucking space god, and you know now you're off to have an adventure where you're with people that aren't your family, and you learn how to be a galactic savior.
Dude, I love Guardians, man, so much.
It's too perfect already. They have everything they need to already be that, and people love it just as much. I remember specifically people coming out of Guardians when the first movie came out and saying, "Wow, I feel this is what it must have felt like for kids to have gone to see Star Wars when Star Wars came out, to really care about a space opera that is now yours."
Yep, that's like kids that walked out of that. That's their Star Wars.
Right, like, I didn't grow up with Star Wars in that way. Star Wars was never mine. I was always an outsider.
Yep, same.
And I feel like with Guardians, that is ours. That's all of ours now at this time, and I feel like that's really cool. And I do, right now, I care about it more than anything I've seen from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Including the new shit.
Yeah, no. I give more of a crap about the characters in Guardians.
Right.
Yep.
So, you know,
like the Star Wars films, they're fun, but still, Guardians is Guardians, man.
Yeah, I like Guardians better. You know, maybe that is, you know, blasphemy to a lot of people because a lot of motherfuckers go apeshit for Star Wars. But I don't have those same member berries. No. So it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Do the same thing. It doesn't affect me. Those berries don't affect.
Right.
It's just nuts, man.
But, you know, I still think it's rad. But that's, well, long fucking tangent ago. That's what I was talking about with the villains thing, is because I'm worried with Spider-Man. We're gonna love the characters. I think that's a given. It's gonna be fun. His Genki, not Genki friend will be great, and all the girls will be great. I just don't know, even with Michael Keaton, that they will give us a lot to go on for villains. Just because, like, to me, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is like one of the best. It's up there with Batman's Rogues Gallery. It's the closest thing to it.
Yeah, fact.
So if you're giving us Vulture, which is a villain we haven't gotten before, in a way where he's just kind of, he could have been a Captain America villain.
Right. I want Vulture to stick around.
Right. I think it. Like, it's why I really wanted Keaton to be Osborn.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want him to be a character that matters in Spider-Man's universe and will be around for a while.
The thing with this, though, is that there's a possibility, because they're trying to approach this slightly different.
Right.
There's a possibility that the gravity, the weight that Vulture has in terms of the Spider-Man universe will be greater than what it's normally as. Like, he's not just going to be just another member of the Rogues Gallery, but he's actually going to be a part where, you know, he's an important part of the Rogues Gallery.
So how about this? This is where I think it's going, or where I'd like it to go, based on what we know right now.
Sure.
Infinity War. He gets the symbiote. That explains all the mocap shit.
Absolutely. That makes the most sense.
So Spider-Man 2, or Homecoming, he fights Vulture.
Sure.
Because this is before Infinity War.
Yes, it is.
Vulture, though, sticks around, creates Sinister Six.
Yep.
Black Suit explains how he could beat the Sinister Six in Part 2.
Yep.
If they do that timeline, I'm totally fine with the direction of where Spider-Man's going.
I'm gold. And look at this. Just by saying that, hey, check it out. A natural way to do the Sinister Six.
Right.
You didn't have to, like, randomly force him in the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's true. I hope that ends up being the case, though, because
the fact that there's already 2 members, well, you got Shocker in this film too.
Yeah, so yeah, if they end up going that direction, man, that'd be fucking radical. I would be totally fine.
I just
with it.
hope this. I want this Homecoming to be great.
I also do.
If I leave, right, the film.
Yeah.
Once we finish watching that film, because on the day that it's out there, I'll be there probably.
Yeah.
I want to be like, that was the best Spider-Man movie.
Right.
I want to say this and not force myself to say that, but I want to feel that.
Yeah. Right now, I don't know how it couldn't be for me.
Right. There's a possibility that it can still be the greatest Spider-Man film, based on just the fact that we have everything is kind of laid out the way it is, and I like it.
Yeah, and I am really fond of the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff in particular.
And this is Ultimate Spidey.
It really seems like it. Mm-hmm. It really seems like it.
So let's hope that that's the case.
I am hoping so.
I want it to be good. I want it to be like, that was excellent, and I'm not saying this because I'm faking myself to believe it.
Yep. I agree. You know about all of these.
I've only seen the new Ghost in the Shell trailer.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was much better than the other trailers they put out.
Yeah.
As somebody who has not seen the movie,
right,
I thought it was much more interesting.
Right, it was the first one that shows any story.
Told you what was happening. A lot more interesting. And it made me really interested to watch the movie. It definitely turned me around on the movie.
I need to rewatch it, I think.
Well, the link is up there.
Yeah.
Because I was going to watch it because I knew you were going to watch it, but I didn't really give a fuck. But now that I've seen the story, it's like, okay, it sounds like it.
I just don't... Jeff, how well do you remember the first Ghost in the Shell movie's story?
Me?
Yeah.
I just recently rewatched it.
Okay, so how well do you think that the live-action trailer shows that story?
It shows, clips and stuff, but honestly, a lot of the original film is dialogue.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People automatically forget that it's dialogue heavy.
I also, though, I wonder if they are mixing it.
I think they are.
With some of the newer shit.
I think
because I noticed that scene where she's flipping around with the fucking handcuffs, it looks like she's supposed to be wearing the Arise outfit.
Probably.
The red outfit.
I reckon they're just basically just picking different aspects that are recognizably Ghost in the Shell and incorporating that into the film, while the story itself is probably a mixture of a few things as well.
Yeah.
It's not the remake of the first film. I mean, sure, it'll have aspects of it because why not? And I know people were complaining, it's oh, they just ripped those from the manga and anime. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Who is the dude that's playing the villain that looks like young Mickey Rourke?
I don't know his name, but he's been in stuff before.
He looks like a 30-year-old Whiplash in the scenes where you can see his face.
That's a pretty good description. Michael Pitt.
Michael Pitt.
Michael
no
Pitt.
relation, I assume.
Probably not. What else has he been in? He's been in Hannibal. He's been in Broadwalk Empire. He was in Dawson's Creek.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
His face looks fucking intense too. And that big fucking tank thing that she's fighting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh,
you think they're gonna do it?
I want him to, dude. I want him to. The fact that in that latest trailer they showed that one character peel her face, kind of take a part of her face off. I was like, nah, they gotta show her arms bust out because it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be wicked,
hey, buddy. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I like the trailer. What'd you think?
I like the trailer. My only problem with some of the stuff that they are referencing from is like I feel like some of the shit where they were like directly like, remember this scene?
Yeah, that's what some people obviously. I think they're annoyed at that because they're like,
That
oh, they're
that
just
doesn't bother
remaking
me
it.
that they're
Yeah,
doing it. I think it's great, but I feel like if you're gonna do it, frame it better than the old movie did, or
yes,
try something really cool with it. Because
absolutely.
to me,
Don't
I'm
just
looking
lift
at
it
the
up.
ones that are copied, and I'm
Hmm.
like, it looked better in the anime one.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Like,
the
yeah,
actual framing of it and whatnot
exactly,
looked better in the anime.
exactly. Like, another example would be say Watchmen, right?
Right,
How they just basically like did what was shown, but they did
right.
change up angles in certain scenes, which was
Yeah,
great.
I feel like the Watchmen stuff was better because they enhanced.
Absolutely, and like if you're gonna re-show an event that's already been shown, like whether it be from a comic or the anime and whatnot,
Yeah,
pick like because you're filming it, you can move the camera. Sure, you
right,
can hit a spot where like this is taken from the panel if you freeze it, but don't just film it from that point. Like move around. You're capable of doing that these days.
right.
Show us
I
something where you
just
can actually feel it.
I hope this director is good at the story part of it as well, because my only exposure to him was the Snow White movie,
He has
and
done something else,
that
right?
movie had really cool visuals in it. It was wicked as fuck looking, but I didn't really care about that movie, so it's the only thing I have to base it on.
That's all he's done, movie
It just
wise.
makes it tough. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, it looks cool because that guy, we've already established he can make things that look cool. But am I going to care about anything that's happening?
I'm gonna look at who wrote the story actually. Jamie Moss. What has Jamie Moss done? I'm gonna click his name on IMDb. Jamie Moss has written Street Kings, Safe House 2, which is announced, Hunter Killer, which is in post production, and
That was
Ghost
an
in the
anime as
Shell.
well, wasn't it?
Which one?
Hunter Killer, or is that based on the comic?
I don't know.
I know
The
Sylvester has
premise
a comic
is
called Hunter Killer.
an untested American submarine captain teams with U.S. Navy SEALs to rescue
Oh
the
nope,
Russian president who was kidnapped by
nope,
rogue general. Okay.
not any of those things.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the only other thing that he's actually written is Street Kings.
Okay, which I haven't seen, but I remember
It's the
vaguely
one with
what that
Keanu
is.
Reeves.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And people like that film.
Yeah, people liked it, but I don't think I saw it.
Right. But they also primarily liked it because it was David Ayer.
It was
Now,
him directing it?
yeah, we saw what happened with his latest thing.
Right. Well,
And
it was it was another thing though. It was like BVS. It was like it definitely wasn't the worst shit I've ever seen or anything. I've seen way more garbage comic book movies than that.
Yeah.
But it still also
Oh,
wasn't
dang.
as good as it could have been.
Okay, well, I know everyone like, oh, David Ayer is great. I'm looking at his writing credits. I'm like, he wrote SWAT. So
I've seen that, but I definitely don't think any of it stuck with me. That's the one with Colin Farrell,
that's
right?
what I'm saying. I'm like, that means like that was a negative, by the way, saying he wrote SWAT. It
Right.
wasn't exactly like, okay, he does have his ups and downs, which is fine. You know, not everybody's supposed to be a hit. He wrote the Fast and the Furious.
Cool.
So
I don't know, man. It's difficult when they're going off of particular source material.
yeah, yeah. No doubt.
What they can do with it. That's the part that worries me is the stuff that seems added. Like the reason I was asking how well you remember the story.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of the like you died in a accident.
No,
and
that wasn't in it. That wasn't part of the
Yeah.
first film.
What the fuck was any of that?
You know.
I don't remember any of that.
That wasn't part of the first film. A lot of the first film had to do with like the whole artificial intelligence, though. It had to do with like the new body, and then it's like political shit.
Right, which to me seemed a lot more about her questioning whether or not she's real,
Absolutely.
but not so much
Who she was before that.
like who was I?
Yeah, yeah. Because to me, it's the whole identity thing. I'm like, you don't need that.
Like she knows who she is. She just doesn't know if it's a synthetic memory or not.
Exactly. But now I think they're gonna delve more into that, which
right.
I
Which
don't
I
know.
don't know if I want that. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I'm concerned about. Is
Right.
like the source material is already good. You don't have to change a lot. So I just don't know what changes they're going to be adding. Like I think the action stuff's gonna be cool. If they do the character stuff, it'll be cool. But it's like I just really think they have a potential of making the character not what it was. Like, granted, she looks like Scarlett Johansson. Whatever that is to you, that's fine. It doesn't bother me that much.
What? How she looks?
Yeah, that she is Scarlett Johansson
Yeah, I've
doesn't
had
bother
no
me that
issue
much.
with that.
I understand where the beef comes from,
I do
but
too.
I don't think it's enough to ruin it for me.
No, not at all.
Because I like the source material too much.
I see too many online disputes about that, and I'm like, if that's literally the only thing you have an issue with,
right?
Then it's too surface. I have actually more issues with, I'd have more issues with the story.
Right, which is what I'm saying. I
absolutely.
The story stuff is the only thing I'm concerned about right now. All the visuals look great to me. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm like when people go, it doesn't look good. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right, not enough steam.
Yeah. But like, what are you talking about? It looks dumb. No, seriously, please open those eyes.
Yeah, it looks cool to me. It's stylized. It looks very cyberpunky.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm fine with that. It looks cool.
I don't know. It could be good.
Hopefully. That shit's March as well.
What? Next month?
I don't remember.
Nah, dude, that's way soon. Oh snap! It is end of March.
Yeah, 31st.
30th, man. Crazy. Crazy. All right. I'll watch it. How can I not watch it?
They just missed like their anniversary. This is the original film came out March 29th, 1996 in the U.S.
Oh. Well, they're pretty close. Here it's at the 30th.
Right, but I mean by the year, because it's 96 instead of...
it would have been a 10.
2016.
20, yeah. Rather, yeah. Oh, well, it's good enough.
Still, that's pretty cool.
Dude, that film is old.
Yeah.
Since we're going through the topics and stuff, let's just clear a bunch of them.
Alright.
You saw the first photos of Alicia Vikander.
I did, but I didn't look at them well enough to see if it was actually her or like a stunt person, but it looked...
It looked like the new games, man.
She's dressed like the game, so...
Yeah, it looks cool, like...
It looks like the
she was
reboot.
standing on. Yeah, the reboot game, which is obviously maybe the smarter move to do instead of making it based on the old one.
They made the new games kind of like they make the Uncharted games, like where they're very like.
Right. Essentially, it's like a female Uncharted, right? At this point.
Right. So it already very much felt like this is what the movie could be.
Yeah.
So should be good.
No, I'm down with that. Did you see the photos of the Jaegers from Pacific Rim Uprising?
I did. It didn't seem like super high def, the photos I saw.
No, the photos are taken from the licensing, like a licensing expo.
Okay.
So those weren't exactly what, like obviously those are like what you'll see on packaging and stuff.
Right. Well, they seemed very like bright.
They did.
A lot more anime in their shapes.
Dude, a hell of a lot more anime. Like they're toned down. They're more sleek.
Right. Which could be cool or it could be really weird because they're very bright in the pictures. They look like toys. Pacific Rim was very like dark. Shit had dirt on it.
Mm-hmm. Very grimy.
Right. So I just don't know how much of that is going to be maintained, or are we getting like Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, like second : Power Rangers?
Well, that one, I think it's only that because, again, it's a licensing expo, so they want you to see the product itself and not
for sure
what it's going to be.
It could be that.
Yeah.
But already the fact that they're going like hecka more anime with it than the first movie, the world they built. So I'm just very curious what that means for the rest of the world, you know?
Right. I think it looks neat. It's fine.
It does look neat, but I'm curious what are the kaijus going to look like now?
Right, exactly. Like, I mean, the kaijus in the first one, I liked them all.
They were cool, but they very much, I think, were fitting for what the Jaegers looked like.
Absolutely.
If the Jaegers are now more anime, what does that mean for the shit they're fighting?
Mm-hmm. Will they also be like more Evangelion-like, where they're just weird?
Right. I don't know. Do they fight monsters in Evangelion, or is it just other robots?
No, they fight the angels. The angels are all weird creatures, but not kaiju weird. More like, hey, it's a giant cube that shoots a laser. Have you not? You haven't watched Evangelion, okay?
No, I don't watch.
No. It's very cool, but like, honestly, at this point, if say Pacific Rim Uprising altered the designs of the kaiju to look more like that, people will complain because they're just going, "Oh, you're just ripping them off completely." Like they have to, I think the kaiju have to remain looking like kaiju.
Fully, but I feel like the Pacific Rim kaiju looked very specific the first time.
Looks very Pacific Rim.
Yeah. They looked very Pacific to that movie.
Absolutely.
But I just don't know if that will if the Jaegers are changing that much, there's no way the kaijus look the same.
Right, the kaijus will definitely. I mean, it's going to have to be a new generation of kaiju as well. So they'll probably. Right. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if the kaijus look more humanoid too.
You think so?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Huh. I was like, I can't think of a lot of examples of like kaiju in other anime because I don't watch a lot of.
There's really not a lot of kaiju in anime though, and a lot of the suit movies, like where there's like suit actors and stuff. Sure, like Godzilla, or the latest Godzilla film. Sure, but yeah, there's not many examples of like kaiju in anime.
Right.
So, but it looks cool. I mean, like I'm gonna watch this film. How the hell am I not going to?
Right.
It's like
IMAX.
Oh, if they show it on IMAX for sure.
Well, we went to the first one in IMAX, and that shit was bananas.
Yeah, I didn't watch it on IMAX.
When he lifted up the big giant boat and swung it like a baseball bat, I was like, "Oh shit! I'm glad that I saw this shit in IMAX."
That was so good. It was so good. Just
that movie was bananas.
Just it's not for everybody. Clearly, just make this one as good as that. That's all. Make it
good. Man.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. I just hope he's not exactly the same character. I'd like to see a different type of character, which I'm sure he's capable of doing.
He'll be angsty.
No.
What else we got?
We have, since we're going out of order, doesn't matter. Jennifer Connelly is now one of the villains in the upcoming Battle Angel Alita.
Cool. Is that cool?
I think so. I mean, I think it's cool in general that we're getting a Battle Angel Alita.
Right.
But I mean, with the current talk of obviously the Ghost in the Shell and whatnot, we'll see what the backlash of this is going to be once they start releasing photos. Like, why isn't she Japanese?
To me, blah, blah, blah. It will be different because she's not a white girl.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
That will automatically make it different because I'm sure they will make the cast like super multicultural or something like that. So
that is true. That is true.
And with this one, I feel like it was with Ghost in the Shell. It was just people being like, "Damn it, it's a white girl."
Yep. Ooh, speaking of the whole people bashing a film because it's a white lead,
right. Great Wall,
the Wall film.
Great Wall.
Yes, there was a review on it, and they were like, "Yeah, it makes sense for the film."
Oh, but, that he's white or whatever.
Yeah. It's actually like, I mean, one, it was a Chinese director,
right?
He wanted to cast a white lead for international audiences, right? But it actually makes sense for the story because it's about these two. There's not just him; it's him and one of the guys from. Damn it! I think it was from Game of Thrones, maybe.
Yeah, he was the Viper guy.
Yeah, him. Those two actually kind of get into the middle of a war that's going on with and there's monsters. Yeah,
they got monsters attacking this. And it's a fantasy story.
Yeah, and I was like, "Whoa, this sounds awesome."
Yeah, have you seen the trailers?
I've seen one, and it wasn't very clear. But I'm like, I want to watch this film.
Yeah.
Like, And that's why it was like when they heard that there was backlash, it's like they're backlashing without any knowledge of what they're backlashing.
Right. It's just because people want to be offended about some shit right now.
Yeah, it was almost like you're kind of wasting your time, because it would make sense for you to backlash if the character themselves was supposed to be a specific race, but they're not in this film, and they specifically wrote the role for him.
Right.
So it's like if you're gonna fight anybody, don't even blame the actual actor that was cast. Bloody go to the director and the writers and say, "Why'd you write a white guy for?" You know.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
seems
weird.
fine to me. I'm not bothered.
But I'm like, that sounds amazing. They go, yeah, it's a great fun, this film, and I'm like, I'm gonna probably check it out. But I'm reading comments that are just like, oh, boycott Hollywood. I'm like, it's not even Hollywood.
Right.
That's the thing that's crazy. It's in collaboration with Legendary Pictures, because they want to try and hit the international market, but it's actually a Chinese film.
Yeah.
But it's not doing well because of the backlash, obviously, in America.
Right.
So, oh well.
Well, whatever.
But anyway, let's get back. Did we talk about? We did talk about Raid. What else is there? There's well, we've covered most of the movie talk, I think.
Do we talk about?
No, we didn't. Netflix, Iron Fist.
Oh, okay, the Netflix trailer. Did you think it was awesome?
I am excited still, dude.
I'm excited, but I also feel like this one, to me so far,
is going to be the weakest to you.
Yeah.
You know what? I want you to keep that thought then, because that way your expectations of it is far lower than they should be. Because when you watch it, there's a higher chance that it possibly could surprise you in ways where you're like, this is actually excellent.
I hope so.
Yeah. So keep this thought.
From the I saw the clip of Cindy Moon fighting.
Yes.
And it didn't look all that impressive to me.
Right.
And the one scene out of the whole trailer where the fight looks kind of cool to me is like a scene where Moon and Iron Fist are fighting multiple people all at once.
Yes.
But it's like a super short clip.
Yes.
So that looks interesting to me choreography-wise, but the rest of it kind of does. I get that they're going for like a Wing Chun-y kind of like kung fu martial arts this time around. It's not as like super gross, like juicy punches like Daredevil was. Mm-hmm. But right now, I just don't know how I feel about it. I need to see it because without the context of the whole show, I just don't know if I buy like Ryan Philippe's cousin is like the most legit kung fu master of all time or whatever.
Right. You don't buy him as Iron Fist, and I've been hearing that a lot from people. They don't buy him as Iron Fist yet. Right,
but I felt like that before watching Daredevil about the dude playing Daredevil. So
yeah, whereas now you're like, yeah, he's Daredevil.
Yeah, he's fine. So if they can do that again, I'm into it.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen right now, I just don't buy it. It's not enough.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. There's not enough for you to there's not enough to bite into it.
Because I don't know who the fuck he's fighting in this. Other than maybe there's the Chinese version of the Hand, or they're working with the Hand.
Right.
They showed the lady that was in the Daredevil seasons that had the old drugs, the old Chinese the Iron Fist shit on it. Mm-hmm. Cool, I suppose. And I don't know what his ability is. He can make his hand glow.
Yes.
And then he can punch through wall. Yes. Which I just feel like he'd be punching through people like Invincible style.
Oh, dude. He'd be One Punch Manning.
Right.
Yeah. He'd be One Punch Manning everything.
Yeah, so I'm very curious how that ability is going to play out in the show.
Like, did you see in that trailer where he just punched the ground?
Yeah, and then shit flies in the air.
Yeah, that's straight up One Punch Man.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Very cool, but
I want to see how it is used in the context of the show.
Yes, absolutely.
And they got to figure out a costume for him because seeing Ryan Philippe flying around hitting people, that I don't know if that's enough.
Honestly, though, did you on the trailer they showed clips of him when he was still training in Asia,
right?
and his outfit, the colors and whatnot, resembled that of the actual Iron Fist colors.
That's in the new trailer?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him training.
No, they didn't show him training. They just showed him in the like wherever, like in the snow thing. And I guess that's where he's at, right?
Right, in the Himalayas or something.
Yeah, and he's got like this drapey outfit that's got the colors. It's like muted green and yellow, and I was like, that's cool. I hope it's that. Or something close to.
Just because, like, the closest thing we have to a costume right now is, like, they show the one scene where he's got, like, a button up where one of the sleeves is missing and tied around his arm or something, but he's still got, like, the Justin Timberlake 2001 hair.
Yeah, the noodles.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what to make of this one yet.
I'm excited because, again, I'm like, Netflix, you've not really botched anything yet. So
so far I'm confident in their ability, but it also very much matters who's the showrunner.
Absolutely.
Who's writing on it, and they have a standard, but I just hope that the Iron Fist series doesn't suffer from, like, well, shit, we got to hurry up and do the fourth one so we can get on to Defenders, and then we can get back to Daredevil.
Right. I don't want it to be like an afterthought, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, we need to push this out so that we can...
Because you remember how, for a while, we just weren't hearing shit.
Yeah, and that's the part...
And then suddenly they're like, well, Defenders is coming out. We already said when that was coming out, so here's Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
We cast
this guy. He's cast now.
Right, I hope that doesn't hurt it.
Right. I understand, I understand being cautious. Because, the time that they had spent waiting to begin. Because remember how bringing episodes back, you can even listen to it, where we're like, I keep saying, I'm like, where the heck are we going to find out about Iron Fist?
Right.
That's what we kept
asking. Casting rumors and all that shit.
So it's like, oh, cool, they're finally finished. And now it's like, oh, they're editing it. Now it's actually happening. Let's just hope it's good.
I'm very curious right now.
I want it to be good.
This shit comes out next month too, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. March. Oh, definitely binging that crap.
March 17th. 1 month from now.
Not soon enough.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Looks good.
Yeah.
What else we got? Samurai Jack. I didn't watch it because I didn't watch Samurai Jack ever.
Oh, I keep saying, just if you're gonna watch this, watch it for the colors alone.
Right. I'll check out the trailer for the colors. I just still don't think I'll watch the series.
That's fine. Watch the trailer though. The colors, the use of color, fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fantastic. If there's any thing to study in terms of to assist you in colors and stuff, you look at that. You look at what they do with it, the shapes that they create, but mainly the lighting choices in general.
Well, I remember you saying the same thing about Steven Universe at some point.
It's true. That one's mainly pastel colors. They use pastel colors really well with Steven Universe. This one, they'll use whatever. Whatever color to just assist, and also textures, color and textures.
Huh.
Very good stuff. I recommend it.
I remember he had a cool theme song, but that's about all I remember about Samurai Jack. And there's the Haku dude, but I assume he's not in the new one because that dude died.
I don't know. See, I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Do we have anything else on the list, or is that all the things?
That's it.
Okay, well, that was the last topic, and that pretty much covers everything we got. So, Stay chipper, chaps.
Stay chipper, creamy.
Creamy Sundays.
Creamy Sundays.
Creamy Sundays.
That's different.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
That is different.
What up, chipper chat? This is chipper chat chat. What up, chipper chat? This is chipper chat chat. What up, chipper chat? This is chipper chat chat. What up, chipper chat? This is chipper chat chat.